That was a result to be really proud of. That was as good as the All Blacks got this year, and it was really good. A result that should have been a foundation to build upon, if only we had. But the truth is we didn't. It's not pessimism, it's realism. It's not glass half empty. It's actually just looking for how we can improve and keep improving. DSPN is brought to you by Novus Glass, proud partner of the Special Olympics New Zealand. The Special Olympics New Zealand National Summer Games is in Christchurch, Otautahi, this December. Across New Zealand, Aotearoa athletes, clubs, volunteers and families are getting ready, training, supporting each other and celebrating as the flame of hope travels down the country. Text Novus to 3598 to support our athletes. That's Novus, Novus, to 3598 to support our incredible athletes at the Special Olympics in Christchurch, Otautahi this December. Notice it, Novus it.
Welcome to the DSPN.
Team New Zealand's in trouble.
Oh, he's done it again, Ricky Herbert.
The Devlin Sports Podcast Network.
DSPN, Martin Devlin, Lachlan War. Thanks very much for joining us on the podcast again. C+. That is the grade that I'm giving the All Blacks after this season. We're going to get onto that in just a second. I got a big breakdown of why I've come to that grade and whether or not we've improved since last year. Questions about how we're going to look going forward. Are these coaches the right coaches? All of that I'm going to discuss in a couple of minutes and love your feedback on it. And that's part of this opening spiel too. We very much appreciate the fact that you take the time to watch this podcast. We have hit 20,000 YouTube subscribers in about 10 months this year. So the numbers don't lie. We thank you so much for supporting us. Keep clicking that subscribe button. Tell all your friends who love their rugby about this podcast. We're on Spotify video, we're on Apple Podcasts, we're on Rover, and of course the DSPN YouTube channel. We put out bits and pieces every single day. We also have a subscription model called Changing Sheds. Now this isn't compulsory at all, but it's just another little offshoot, a little club. We're a business like everyone else. We've got bills to pay. We've got myself and Lachlan here and editors. I'm not doing any kind of plea or anything like that. I'm just saying if you do like what we do and you are in a position to support us, well, we'd be very grateful. A couple of bucks a week. Spotify video. You just look for the enhanced benefits banner. I think it's called that. Something like, you'll see it. You just click on that, follow your nose or join as far as the DSPN YouTube channel goes. As I say, a couple of bucks a week. And then what you get for that is just a little bit extra. All of the stuff that we continue to put up every day, still there, available for free for you. But if you want to financially support us, we'd be more than grateful for that. A little bit of editorial, more opinions, a couple of things we probably don't say in public, that kind of thing. A little bit extra in terms of the interviews, behind the scenes stuff. And those episodes come out every Friday. And I thank you so much if you have been supporting us for that. As well as that, these guys here. Novus Glass and WebWonks. What are WebWonks? Well, WebWonks are about sales. So I'm just going to tell you a little bit about our clients before we get into this end of season review. WebWonks. They do all your Google data, but it's bigger and better than that. It's simply about, do you want to increase sales? Get in touch with them. As far as if you've got a crack on your windscreen, these fellas and fellashes here. Novus. If you like what we do and support us, we'd love you to support them as well when you make a consumer choice. That's enough of that spiel. Let us talk about the All Blacks.
Marty Sermons brought to you by WebWonks. Generate online leads with WebWonks. Doctors for your Google data.
We live in an amazing, amazing world, and it's wasted on the crappiest generation of just spoiled idiots.
C+, as I said right at the start. That is the grade for the All Blacks season that I am giving. And yes, it's the same grade I gave them last year. Because in All Black terms this season, have we really improved? I don't think that we have. And I think the evidence of that is where England are right now. Because we played England on the end of year tour last year and we got away with the win. It was close. They could have upset our apple cart a little late on. But we deserved to win that game. And this time, a year later, we didn't deserve to win at Twickenham. We had a good lead, 12-0, and they mowed us down, and that second half was as awful as any All Black performance you've ever seen. So, when you look at it like that, have we improved? I don't think so. You can sugarcoat it all you like. 10 wins, 3 losses. Last year it was 10 wins, 4 losses. So the coaches have had 27 games in charge. And You can throw the percentage stats at me. Look, we've got a 77% win record, this, and that's all noise. What actually matters isn't how many games we've won compared to how many we've lost. It's who we lost to, when we lost, and how badly we lost. And look, we did have genuinely strong wins this year, and we have to celebrate those. Australia twice, played well in both of those games. Argentina, Cordoba, played well for most of that game, came on big time at the end. Ireland and Chicago, came on big time at the end. A very worthy win. Scotland, same, even though it was a bit scratchy at times. And the biggest one of all, of course, South Africa at Eden Park to protect an unbeaten record that stretches back decades. That was a result to be really proud of. That was as good as the All Blacks got this year, and it was really good. A result that should have been a foundation to build upon, if only we had. But the truth is we didn't. 7 days later, we were spanked, our worst ever test loss. And that's something that will never go away. That is forever now. What is the worst loss the All Blacks have ever suffered? 43-10 in Wellington in 2025. Very humbling. Last year we lost to South Africa twice. We lost to Argentina, we lost to France. This year, Argentina again, South Africa again, and as I said, England. And here's the worrying bit for me. All three losses came immediately after good wins. These are moments when you look for consistency, moments when good All Black teams say, right, we've beaten you once, now we're going to do it again to prove the point. That's what great All Black sides do. This side isn't a great All Black side because instead, what did we do? We laid a turd 3 times, and each performance somehow worse than the last. We got to be honest about this, and this is important. This isn't whining or griping. We've got to be honest about this and keep reminding ourselves of, because this is what actually matters when we talk about selections, coaching, and where this team is heading. It's not New Zealand Rugby's cheesy marketing, and it's not the flowery All Black social media accounts where you'd think we're world champions. Back to back to back to back to back. It's not the constant PR telling us how much global impact we made at shopping malls in Chicago. All of that is just rubbish. The only thing that counts is results and performances. That is the only currency that counts for the All Blacks, results and performances. So let's look at those 3 losses, because that's how we define the All Blacks. We don't define it by a 10-3 record. And if you do, you don't understand this team. You don't understand the history of this team. Argentina won a series. A week earlier, we were very sharp in Cordoba. 7 days later, error-ridden, no punch, no go forward, we were turned over. South Africa and Wellington, our biggest ever test loss, as I said, biggest ever. No need to say any more. History already has that one. The darkest day in All Black history. And then England. After strong wins over Ireland and Scotland, we turned in the worst 40 minutes of rugby we played all year. And given the box demolition second half in Wellington, that is saying something, but context matters. And under the circumstances, that second half against England, I reckon, was marginally worse. That's why the season can only be a C+. Scott Robertson says we've turned a corner. Have we? England are now better than us. We were the second best team in the world last year. What corner exactly have we turned? So I can't go any higher than C+. 10 wins sounds great on paper. And when you're a marketing guy and from the PR schmuck department, that's the figures that you put out there. But for any of us, as I said, who actually genuinely understand what the All Blacks are, who they are, what they're about, what we're trying to achieve, 10-3 isn't the stat you're looking for. What you're looking for is you're looking for 3 losses, how and why. Let's go back to the Eden Park win over the Springboks. That was enormous. What a great result that was, a thoroughly deserved win. And it proves to me a hell of a lot about this team, that we are capable of being the best team in the world again. I think that's the message that we got from Eden Park. It was the first win in 5 meetings against the Boks. It was gutsy, it was earned, it was emotional, and it gave us real hope. But 7 days later, we conceded 36 unanswered second half points, and we looked like a team out of ideas and looked like a team that gave up. And this is what we got to, I think, remember most about the season. It's not pessimism, it's realism. It's not glass half empty. It's actually just looking for how we can improve and keep improving. Because here's the positive bit. As I said, we know we can beat anyone in the world. We've shown it multiple times this year. The ceiling is high. What we need urgently is to stop the bad days, to set a level that we never drop below. We've hit that level more than once this season. If we can eliminate those kind of collapses, the off days, the mental lapses, I think that we are already as good as any team in world rugby. I think we've got the players. I believe that. We've proved that. And that's why it's a C+. It's not quite good enough. But it's close enough, I believe, to believe that, yes, we can be good enough. Roll on 2026. What a year we have in store. South Africa, 13 tests, 4 games against the URC sides, this brand new Nations Cup. I mean, this is the best World Cup build-up that we could possibly give ourselves next year. So, we go into summer. Bit of a rock under the beach towel? Hell yes. But that's also not a bad thing, because this is how All Black rugby improves, by constantly raising the bar, by wanting to get better. This year, what we have seen, we need to get better. As I said, I believe that we can be. C+. Huge thank you to Novus Glass for sponsoring this episode of the DSPN and for being a proud partner of the Special Olympics New Zealand. This December, over 1,200 incredible athletes, along with hundreds of volunteers, coaches and other support staff, will be making their way to Christchurch or Tautahi for the Special Olympics New Zealand 2025 National Summer Games. Novus Glass is proud to be supporting something special, and you can help support the athletes too by texting Novus to 3598. That's Novus, Novus 3598. Thanks again, Novus Glass, for supporting us here on the DSPN. Windscreen, crack or chip, notice it, Novus it.
DSPN.